Once you've gathered all your evidence, it's time to write up your fact check. It's important not to rush too quickly through the writing process. In this video, we'll outline best practices for writing a transparent fact check. First and foremost, keep it simple. False claims can be messy and complicated, but that doesn't mean your fact check should be. The main claim should be clearly outlined in the headline. Take this one, for example. Panicked shoppers storm supermarket amid coronavirus pandemic? False. This video was filmed in 2011, nearly a decade before the novel coronavirus outbreak. Since some people only read headlines, headlines need to immediately clarify whether a claim is actually true or not. In your first paragraph, outline the claim, give your conclusion, and summarize your proof. For example, in this article, the first paragraph starts by outlining the claim. It reads, "Footage of a large crowd rushing into an Aldi supermarket has been viewed hundreds of thousands of times on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, alongside claims that the video shows panic buyers storming the supermarket during the novel coronavirus pandemic." Then it gives the verdict and succinctly summarizes the proof. It reads, "The claim is false. The video was in fact filmed in Germany in 2011, nearly a decade before the coronavirus pandemic broke out." You've then got the rest of the article to show your proof and provide more context. In this fact check, for example, we started by explaining how many times the video was viewed and where on the internet it was shared. Then we gave the context. Yes, panic buying had been reported worldwide during the pandemic, but this video did not show one of these incidents. We then explained how we found our proof. We ran a reverse image search on keyframes using InvidWeVerify and saw that the video had first been published online years before the pandemic. Finally, we explained how we geolocated the video to a mall in northern Germany. This brings us to the next tip. It's crucial to show your work. This means being as transparent as possible about how you obtained your proof. If you used a reverse image search or another technique, then be sure to mention that. Wherever possible, your audience should be able to reproduce the steps that led you to your proof. For example, let's take this video. People claimed it was showing FBI agents raiding a synagogue that was allegedly used to legally sell face masks. We didn't just say to our readers, "Trust us, we found that it was actually a raid on a private home." We showed side-by-side screen grabs of the video and local news footage, and highlighted all the matching elements, like the trees, the markings on the truck, and the FBI agent. We also embedded a Google Street View so that readers could check the location for themselves. Empowering your audience in this way means not only that they'll be more likely to trust your fact checks, it may also inspire them to do their own verification next time they spot a suspicious claim. Another important tip, provide context. Okay, so you found something that's false, and you've shown why it's false. But don't forget to provide context too. This can make the difference between an okay fact check and a great one. It's important to provide local and historical context. Take this fact check about a photo of a massacre that some people claimed was taken in the aftermath of protests in Ethiopia during the summer of 2020. The photo was actually taken during the 1994 Rwandan genocide. So after laying out the proof, the author of the fact check also provided context with a few paragraphs about the Rwandan genocide, as well as a few paragraphs explaining what had set off the recent protests in Ethiopia and how many people lost their lives. Another example. In this fact check, we explained that a video showing Nigerians scrambling for food packets was actually filmed months before a pandemic-induced lockdown. The food was distributed by a political party to woo voters before an election. However, authorities did carry out food distributions during the lockdown, so we included footage of those scenes as well to provide more context. Next tip, don't fuel the fire. You want to stamp out false claims, not direct more traffic to them. False claims often come from clickbait sites that play on people's emotions to generate more clicks and make more money. So in your fact check, instead of using direct links to claims, use an archive link. This has the added benefit of saving the false claim in case it is taken offline or modified. Also, instead of embedding a post with a false claim, use a screenshot. Better yet, add markings to the screenshot, like a red X or a false stamp. This way, nobody can reuse the item out of context. Make sure to watch your tone. Stick to the facts and write dispassionately. Avoid using flowery language or opinion. You may find a claim to be completely ridiculous and be tempted to write something to this effect. But at some point in our lives, every one of us has believed something that turned out to be false. And the person reading your fact check may have believed the claim upon first seeing it. Your goal is to show them the facts, not alienate them with a judgmental tone. You also need to fact check your own fact check. Before you hit publish, you're going to want to go through your story with a fine-tooth comb to check that every detail is correct. Did you accurately describe the claim, or did you accidentally mischaracterize it in any way? Did you get all the dates right? Did you link to the right URLs? Did you mix up any figures? Did you double-check translations? Etc. Errors, even small, tend to glare loudly when they come from fact-checkers who are supposed to be doing the correcting. So it's well worth your time to double-check every detail. When mistakes do slip in, correct them openly. If you make a correction to a fact check, say so. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. Add a clear, concise note that explains which part of the piece has been corrected and why. At AFP, we also list all of our corrections on a dedicated page. Being able to admit mistakes and correcting them openly contributes to building trust with your audience. Keep these best practices in mind, and you should be able to craft effective, thorough fact checks. When in doubt, try to put yourself in the shoes of someone who is unsure whether the claim in question is true or false, and read your draft one last time. That should set you on the right path.